And while both Trump and Pence may choose to run for president, their role during January 6 has gotten a lot of attention, but in different ways. We're learning the former vice president's chief of staff recently appeared before a federal grand jury. That could have wide implications, including for some who are from North Carolina. The January 6 committee is taking a month off from its public hearings, but its investigation continues. The Department of Justice seems to be ramping up its own investigation. Among those recently appearing before a federal grand jury is Mark Short, the then chief of staff for Vice President Mike Pence.
I think it is significant that we're getting high-level grand jury testimony. That means you have a serious thought that there were possibly violations of the criminal law that have been, or they're being established, and now the Justice Department is trying to accumulate all of the facts.
David Shanzer with Duke Sanford School of Public Policy says Trump campaign attorneys like Rudy Giuliani, John Eastman, and North Carolina native Sidney Powell are likely targets.
The idea that states would designate fake electors that would then be presented to the Congress, and then they were trying to get the Vice President Pence to count those electors. That really does reek of fraud.
Pence did not go along with that plan. Early in the investigation, former North Carolina Congressman Mark Meadows handed over more than 2,300 text messages, which helped build a timeline of what happened before, during, and after January 6. But after being subpoenaed, he's refused to appear before the committee. Steve Bannon has already been convicted of the same thing, but unlike Bannon, Meadows, who was Trump's chief of staff, has not been charged. That does not mean, though, he will escape a grand jury.
He doesn't have any of these defenses when he's facing a federal grand jury subpoena. I happen to believe that a president should have an ability to speak with the chief of staff candidly, but if it's about violations, knowing violation of federal law, those privileges are going to be overcome, and he's going to have to answer questions.
Questions Meadows has thus far escaped, but time will tell for how much longer. And the DOJ faced a bit of criticism in the thought that maybe they weren't moving fast enough from some folks within the Democratic Party voicing that concern. But certainly all indications are now, and we've even seen 2 state senators in the state of Arizona being subpoenaed as well by a federal grand jury, that things are speeding up quite quickly.